business hasn't decided it wants to just stop working for no reason, we're ready on you guys. No pressure. 801. All right.
Rykus leans in, his eyes like fire. Nemo's got the mic dressed in satire. Andrew in the booth, spinning the wheel. Cameras rolling, it's all surreal. Who's the guest today? Who's the guest today? Red curve spinning, always winning. Rykus, Nemo, questions pinning. Andrew called the shot, don't miss the frame. Hobby Hooligan, what's your name?
All right. Hey, Hobby Hooligans. Welcome to Ashtabula Hobby Talk. I am Nemo, president of Amigos Radio Club, Ashtabula, an amateur radio enthusiast, and I'm here with...
I'm Rykus, owner of Captain's Comics in North Kingsville, Ohio, big comic book enthusiast, and we have a really awesome show today.
Yeah, we got some special guests tonight. We have Tina and Lisa from the Ashtabula 250 committee, and we're going to be talking about how that all gets set up and all the cool stuff that goes into that. So, hey, welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you for having us. We're really excited to be here. Excited to be able to talk about the semi-quincentennial. I've been practicing.
Yeah, that's not only a once-in-a-lifetime event, but a once-in-a-lifetime phrase you can figure out how to say. So here, we'll just go ahead and pass the mics back and forth as we need to do it. So you guys invited us there as the radio club, and we're happy to be there. We can get into that a little bit as we go along, but tell us about how you guys got this started. It's been a long project, hasn't it?
He gave me the mic. It's kind of dangerous. So sorry. Yeah, it has been a long project. We started, gosh, Lisa, when did we get?
2023.
2023. That's
July.
right. Yep. So we got started. Troy Bailey. I don't know how many of you know Troy Bailey. Troy Bailey is a gentleman in Ashtabula County who is with the Sons of the American Revolution. And he really brought this project to Ashtabula County. He brought it to the commissioners, Lisa.
He did.
And that was in 2023.
Probably 2022.
2022.
And then we actually met in 2023.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, look, we're going to start planning to celebrate the 250th signing of the Declaration of Independence. And then he made the mistake of saying, hey, Tina, do you want to be involved? And that's how I ended up there. So I remember the bicentennial. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember that, but I do. And it made an impact on me. And I know I've probably told you guys this before. That was just something that, 1976, which seems like just yesterday to me, it just was so special. You could be out and watch parades, you could see it on TV, and, it just had this feeling about it. And so when Troy started saying, hey, look, we're getting ready to celebrate 250 years and it's a semi-quincentennial, would you come to this meeting? And I said, yeah, absolutely. So I went to the meeting at the commissioner's office and we started talking about it, and they said, how are we going to mark this occasion? And so, after some back and forth, we landed on a festival for Ashtabula County, but not just, as luck would have it, it's on 4th of July, and 4th of July is on Saturday. So it seemed perfect. But it should be something that we celebrate and mark with, a little bit of a, special occasion, and not just put up a plaque. And so that's kind of where we started developing this plan for this festival.
All right. Well, that sounds great. I mean, it's definitely a long term. If you're going to do something like this, it's got to be a long term process. And wow, it's holding it right in the county seat there. That makes it. There's a beautiful area down there. I've only been in this area for about 12 years. So, but when I saw Jefferson, and I have family that are backcountry family, and they grew up southern foothills of Missouri, whatever. So, my mom grew up in a 2-room schoolhouse. There were like 30 people in her entire school when she graduated. The little town had church socials on Sundays. So when I saw Jefferson, I kind of fell in love with the area. And this is exactly the kind of thing that they would do there to bring the whole town together, and even the whole county, because in those areas, the town is the county.
Well, and that's exactly why we kind of landed on Jefferson. Jefferson is the county seat of Ashtabula County, and when you start looking back on the history books, it makes sense to have the festival in the center of the county. Harpersfield is really where they first landed, or first started the settlement, but Jefferson is the county seat, and it is the center of the county, so it made sense to us that that's where we would want to have it. We had talked about having it at the fairgrounds, but there were some things happening, and we didn't think that that would be a reality. So we are having the festival actually at the Giddings Park area, which is at the corner of Market and Jefferson Street, if you're familiar with Jefferson. It's where the old elementary school used to sit, and used to be the old high school back in the day. And so that's where the festival will be. And there's actually a covered bridge pavilion that is sitting there. That's where it will actually be, but it won't start there. It will start with a parade. We're calling it the Grand Parade of History. My vision, and this isn't just the Tina show, but my vision is that we have 250 entries in this parade. So the parade will kick off at the high school, which is down on Poplar Street. I think it's called Falcon Way.
You got some slides. Should we bring those up?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be great. My handy dandy Tina show that I take on the road, real high tech here. Oh, yep. Let me know when you're ready. There you go.
Right there.
Yeah. So as you can see in the middle, and if I, could use my fingers and kind of expand, I'd show you, bring it in a little closer. But this is the overview.
Watching on TV, they're going to see.
They can do that.
Gotcha.
Okay. Oh, look
Perfect.
at you.
Oh, nice.
I knew somebody could do it. This shows you what the downtown Jefferson, or an overview of Jefferson. And right at the very beginning of the arrow, that is where Jefferson High School sits. Yep, perfect. That's where we'll stage from, and then the parade will step off at noon. But I want to say this, before the parade starts, at 11:45, we're asking all of the churches across Ashtabula County to ring their bells at 11:45, and we're asking them to strike 13 times for the 13 original colonies. So I'm reaching out to all the churches across the county to ask them to participate in that. That's not just an Ashtabula thing. That was actually something that was done during the bicentennial. It was a national thing, and it is being done again nationally. We're a little ahead of the time for it. A little ahead. I think they're doing it a little later in the day on the 4th of July. But we're going to start at 11:45 and have all those bells ring. And then the parade will kick off at noon. And they will step off at noon and go down up Poplar Street and then turn on Jefferson Street and head east on Jefferson Street and end at the festival grounds down on Giddings Park. Yeah. And so it should be a lot of fun, but I am still looking for, if anybody's interested, I'm still looking for parade entries, and you can reach out to us on our Facebook page or even email us and get entered into the parade. All are welcomed. I mean, and remember, an entry in the parade is one person. It also is, and I've said this before, I have 25 unicyclists. That's an entry. So it could be, anybody. And we want to celebrate our history. So we are hoping to put everything in time order. So it'll start with the sons and the daughters of the American Revolution. Actually, it'll start with the one of our first entries will be the Lenape Nation, and then it will proceed through time and go all the way across time.
We got that slide too, right? Slide.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can go. Yeah, that's still the parade. After the parade, we will end up down at the Liberty Picnic Grounds. And that's where our main stage is going to be. And that's at 1:30. We will have our opening ceremony down there. And you can kind of see in that corner there. Yep, right where you're at. That's the Gidding, or the, I always say it, Giddings, and that's not right. The Covered Bridge Pavilion.
Yes.
That's going to be our main stage. And we have reenactors, we have brass bands, we have string quartets, we have contemporary music. We just booked this afternoon. We have a young band that's going to be performing. They are a local band from Jefferson. Oh dear, it just went out of my mind. Hold on just a second. Oh yeah, Zoloft. Zoloft will be there. And then In Cahoots is another band that we just this afternoon booked. Lisa doesn't even know that. They'll be there. So we're super excited about that. We even have a Broadway performer who is coming to Jefferson to perform. His name is Manny Cadet. He'll be on the stage. He'll be doing, he'll be serving as our MC. He's been in Broadway's production of The Lion King.
The Lion King.
Yeah, so we're super excited about that. He'll be over. We have 2 stages going. So we have the main stage at the Liberty Picnic Grounds, and then we have the stage where Lisa's going to be. That's over in that Family Americana arcade. We can talk a little bit about that in a minute, but we think that Manny's going to be in that stage performing. He's been in The Wiz, or not The Wiz, The Wizard of Oz, Porgy and Bess, but he's been Mufasa on Broadway in The Lion King. So we're really honored that he's considered coming to Jefferson to be there. So it's going to be fun. And in the opening ceremony, we will have, this is the first time that it's happened, I think in a very long time, an all-county band performing. Yeah,
Right.
an all-county high school band performing. So we're very excited that that's going to happen.
So this is really like rolling out all the red carpets and no holds barred. All the stops are being pulled, and
I'm throwing everything against the wall. There you go.
hopefully it'll all stick. And it's all gonna wind up with fireworks at the end too,
That's
right?
At the very end, we will have fireworks. The fireworks will start at dusk. So I'm thinking sometime around 10 o'clock, 9:45, 10 o'clock. And we have a brass band that wants to play for the fireworks.
Awesome. So 1812?
The 1812 Overture?
Yeah, with fireworks.
Yeah, why not?
Man,
This is the semi-quincentennial.
you know, growing up, we used to go to Blossom. My family would
Oh,
take us to
right.
Blossom every year, and every year the Cleveland Orchestra would come down there and play the 1812 Overture with cannons.
Oh, my
The
goodness.
fireworks are the same.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, so
nice.
we're not going to have cannons, but we'll have fireworks.
Tchaikovsky's the
Actually, we know some
composer.
people with.
Tchaikovsky's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
We probably
have
know
a
some
guy for
people
that.
with cannons. so
The time those would
Lisa,
be amazing though.
Lisa, tell us, you're with like on the state level, is that right? With the
County.
uh,
I'm more
county
county
level,
level.
okay.
I work for the county, and I started at the very beginning when Troy approached the Board of Commissioners. I work for the Board of Commissioners. Then they started listening to him because he was very persistent, which was good. He had a vision of what was going to happen, and then she took over the vision of the actual event part of things. So that was back in 23.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of what's your role in it at this point?
I've been the secretary from the very beginning. I keep all the minutes. I've scheduled all the meetings. We actually hold them in our conference room once a month now. They used to be like every 2 months. Then it went to every month. So I do all the minutes and all the things for it. Scheduling. I do the press releases, all the written communication I do. Mhm.
So we normally take this show from the hobby aspect. So some of our people are probably wondering where the hobby ties into this, but in reality, the way it ties in is you approached the local amateur radio community to pull together under the Aries banner, which we have set up, and there's a good group of guys there. So we're going to be out there giving you guys a hand too, doing some basic logistics, helping you out with parking lots, checkpoints, parade escorts, things along those lines. And we're really happy that you came to us and asked, because that's something that as amateur radio operators, we've been wanting to get more and more involved in. We've got some northeastern Ohio in general, Ashtabula, Geauga, Lake, Mahoning. We have a really, all the way out to Cuyahoga, Elyria, all that area, that we have probably one of the strongest amateur radio communities in the country amongst the whole area. And when I moved out here and I got involved in amateur radio, I thought we could do more and more and more. And now here's a good opportunity for us. So thanks for coming out, and you gave us a presentation at our radio club meeting. And And so now we're going to be organized up under the Aries District 10 group, which they have a Facebook page, Ashtabula County Aries. And I believe Joe, KEAGJL, is going to be spearheading as the liaison for that. So I'm glad that we're going to be a part of that, because that's exactly the kind of stuff that we try and do. So I don't know, maybe Lisa, can you add a little bit more to that part of it?
To which the
Just getting
like how
us,
it started?
getting the, yeah, and or the integration with the amateur radio community.
I think Tina probably knows a little bit more. I'm sorry.
Well, no,
Or the-
but in Lisa's area, so
Yes.
I will say this: Lisa has been lovely in coming in and saying, "Yes, I'll help you with the what we call the Family Americana Arcade area," and yes, Aries is going to help us. But in that area, this arcade area, look, families have it tough enough as it is right now, and coming out to a event like this shouldn't be, oh gosh, I can't go to that because it's going to cost an arm and a leg. This is a free event. The only thing that it's going to cost people to attend this is if they buy something from the food trucks, which we'll have great food trucks there. We've got everything from Crooked Taco to Nita. Nita Stringfellow is there. I can't remember the name of her food truck right off the top of my head. Evie's Luau. We've got all kinds of wonderful. Blow and Smoke is going to be there. Wonderful food trucks. So if you want to buy food at the food trucks, or you want to go to our artisan market, that will cost money. Other than that, it shouldn't cost you anything. And so we have this Family Americana arcade area where kids can go over and play games. And one of the areas that I'm excited about is what you guys are going to be doing.
Yes.
You will have your trailer from the Ashtabula Amateur Radio Club. Yeah.
We'll be up there with them, kind of partnering with that setup.
Right. It'll be set up there so kids will actually get a chance to see what that is. Because if they, we are celebrating what Ashtabula County's history is over the last 250 years. That's what we should be doing for this celebration. How have we developed? What has Ashtabula County's role been over the last 250 years? And one of the ways that we've developed is what you guys do. But kids aren't exposed to that anymore.
Yeah.
I grew up in an era when, it was, 10-4, good buddy. I understood what that meant because it was on TV and it was on the movies, right?
We had a CB.
Yeah, we had my dad,
Back
you're
in the day.
100% right.
Back
My
in the
dad
day.
had a CB in his truck. My kids don't understand what that
No.
is, right? So you guys are bringing that to our children. So we're very, very grateful that you're doing that. And you are also now helping us with one area that I didn't even think about. When I started putting together the festival, the logistics side of it never entered my mind about, well, how am I going to make sure that, I can talk to my people that are over at the parking lot and my people that are at the visitor center, my people that are marshaling for the parade. And you guys said, I got you, Tina. Joe showed up and he's been a wonderful addition to my committee. And he said, don't worry, we've got you. So we're very, very grateful for what you guys are doing for us. Sorry.
You're going to bring the communications aspect into our family arcade, our Family Americana arcade. For at the end of it, we're going to have you set up at the actual venue of that.
Yeah.
So that way they will see firsthand of everything you do.
And I think you guys, are you going to be broadcasting?
Okay, so what we talked about was setting up what we call a special event station. Sometimes they're one-shot deals. A lot of times they're set up for specifically commemorating. Like there's my favorite one to talk to is actually a battleship in Hawaii that they commemorate the attack on Pearl Harbor every year.
What is that, the Missouri?
The Missouri, yeah. I've talked to them a couple times, and they, it's a special event. The amateur radio guys that are service, they do it. I believe the COD used to do it up in Cleveland for a little while, but they haven't done it in some years. But one of my favorite ones on topic is the 13 colonies. That's something that we do. And usually what ends up happening is, and we haven't talked about how far we're going to go with this. I know for the when we do the Pioneer Picnic one, because we're going to start doing that, because they've been around for 136 years or whatever it is. So we're going to start doing a special event station for them. A lot of times, if you send them a self-addressed envelope and like $10, they'll send you a postcard that's an official, like, we made the contact thing. I'm not sure if we're doing that entirely, but it will get logged, and it gets logged as an event station, and people, when you're running an event station, people in the amateur radio community come together, and they want that contact. That's a thing for them.
I had that happen to me when I was in, when I was, sounds so silly, but we went traveling. We were standing on the Eiffel Tower, and a phone rang, and it was some random person from from Australia calling it because they had got that number. And it, that was a long time ago, but I remember it. I sent them a postcard to say, yep, I was the person that you talked to on the top of the Eiffel Tower. Yep. So those kind of things. Think of the little kid 50 years from now who's going to say, I was in Jefferson, Ohio. I was in Giddings Park, and I did this, and this happened. That's the kind of feeling that we want people to walk away with when this is all said and done. They've been touched by it, and it's something that makes a memory for them.
And it gets into, and I talked about this, like, I run a radio net every week on Wednesdays, and we talked about this last night, and we touched on it a little bit in the meeting. Organizations like ours and people who are trying to put big things together, one of the biggest things we have an issue with is volunteers. Yes. And it seems like, especially with cell phones, and yes, we're guilty. We're on YouTube. Come on. But like, the volunteerism isn't as much as maybe we used to remember it. And now I got some pushback from my guys on the radio show last night, but I think that is still something, and I think it shows, if we get out there, we show them that this volunteer stuff is out there. Maybe actually, I don't know if Rykus could work something out. He's actually part of a group called Trail Life.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about trying to see if the Trail Life wants to do like a float in the parade or something. I'll have to talk to the church, see if we can pull something off.
Kids in that group that need service hours too,
we absolutely
right?
have kids that need service hours. That's not too far. That's our backyard. And you ever heard of Trail Life USA?
I haven't.
It's a scouting group of boys, and we do a lot of camping, a lot of things that you would see Boy Scouts doing.
Oh, amazing.
And we're more church oriented, and it's a fun little group.
We would love to see that represented in the parade.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Volunteer in the kids.
Yeah.
Family Arcadia.
Yeah.
Right. My two boys are enrolled in it, and they love it. And they made a lot of friends there, and we do a lot of scouting and camping and hiking. It's fun.
It's hard to uncover people that, still want to volunteer. And sometimes it's, you can say, I need volunteers, and people are just a little nervous to step forward and say, I'll do that. Look, if you're willing, I'll find a place for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Lisa, you work with the EMA, is that right?
Yes. Their department underneath the Board of Commissioners.
Okay.
But I'm also involved in like the Perry drills. I'm their
okay.
clerk person. Sorry.
Nope, that's right. So actually, that's something that we, I know we registered to participate in, and I've been a part of in the past. Just as a responder. Usually, the way it works is we set up an emergency services net in each county, as needed during the drill. Mm-hmm. So, say the wind drifts, and we've got to make sure people get to the Red Cross shelters, those kinds of things. We send people out to make sure those things happen. And I'm hoping that, as that the Aries group gets built stronger, so we can play a bigger role in that, because I know in the past few years, there's been some absence there, and I'm hoping that I don't participate in the Aries as much as I would like to, so I'm sort of speaking out of school with this, but they all know I'm deployable if need be, sort of. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, that group grows, and this opportunity to be involved. It's because there's so many great groups, like Geauga County's Aries group does a lot of great stuff. They're Gears guys, Geauga County Emergency Services. Lake County has done and does some really great stuff. Even Mahoning County, there's some great guys down there, Mahoning and Trumbull County area. And we've actually, I know for a fact that our brothers down there in it's not Cortland, it's Struthers. There's a radio club down there. They have already had a representative contact up here about how they can help. So when we put the call out for that kind of stuff, amateur radio operators come from all over. So, and it's not just volunteering in the parades. Like I was mentioning before we went on air, it was amateur radio operators on donkeys just 2 years ago when those hurricanes and floods went through North Carolina and Tennessee, and it was them on donkeys with handheld radios going up into the mountains to find people who were in their log cabins that needed saving. And that's some of the stuff that we do. And, Tennessee, amazingly enough, because of that, has recognized that a whole bunch of those areas there, the need for amateur radio in those areas, that they've made it accredited classes in their community colleges. So you can actually go there and through the college courses. Some of the high school classes are starting to pay more attention to that too, because it is a STEM field, to be quite honest with you. There's a lot of math, a lot of science, and a lot of engineering aptitude that you have to learn behind it. I mean, to get involved in the beginning, you just have to kind of, actually have to know the math. You could fail in all honesty, you could fail all the math questions. As long as you get all the other questions right, you'll probably pass the test. But when you want to go beyond that, it's there's a lot more to it. And that's, it's just like you get your FCC license. It's just like driving a car. You get your driver's license. That doesn't mean you know how to drive. That just means you can operate a vehicle on the road. And then you want to be a race car driver, that's a whole other skill set. You want to be a semi-truck driver, that's a whole other skill set. We have the same thing in amateur radio. It's so spread out. There's room for everybody who wants to do it. And the volunteering part is part of it. So I'm glad to be a part of showing the volunteering.
Very happy to have you. Yes.
So, man, you guys have shouted out a whole bunch of people already, but so we did have a question. I don't know where we're at time wise. Oh, so we got some time. We got plenty of time.
You mentioned earlier before we got started that there was somebody that asked a question about our photo contest. We started a photo contest early on for a commemorative blanket. So that commemorative blanket, the idea behind it was that we wanted something people could, take away at the very end. And so we reached out and said, hey, submit some pictures. I've had a few people submitting those pictures. We're still taking those in to answer the question early on. We are still taking the pictures in and evaluating them. They've been amazing. And then we will get to the process of starting to see which ones we're going to select to put onto the blanket. We're going to use the blanket. My vision is that we'll have the blankets made, hopefully, and available for sale at the event so that people could buy a blanket and then take it out onto the Liberty Picnic grounds or over into the Family Americana Arcade and lay those blankets out and watch the fireworks with their families on the evening, when the fireworks start. But we're also going to use those blankets to give away as prizes. So during the parade, we're going to ask the homes that are along Poplar Street and Jefferson Street to decorate their homes. And then we're going to ask the people that are in the parade and the crowd to judge their favorite home and their favorite business. And then also we're going to ask the crowd to judge their favorite parade entry, and we'll give them one of the blankets as a prize. And they'll also get their picture taken and put into the time capsule that we're creating. We are not burying the time capsule because, sometimes what happens with these time capsules is you don't find them afterwards. So the time capsule will be saved in the Ashtabula Library.
Okay, well that sounds like a safe place for it, actually. Yeah. When that question came across our feed, I think it was our Facebook feed, I actually I did some internet stalking, and I went and looked at that person's artwork and their photo stuff, and she did some great, awesome pictures in there.
She has submitted some pictures, and I've had a chance to look at them. They're really, really amazing. I had a chance to talk with this photographer, and she's really does a nice job. So, and yeah, I mean, to your audience that's watching, if you have any questions, definitely shout them out. We'd love to answer them.
Yeah, just throw them in the chat. We'll try and bring them up, and we'll have Andrew read them off and make sure that we can get them answered. No, he's actually really busy, believe it or not.
You guys have no idea how furiously I am trying to keep the audio levels centered, because you're really quiet, and then when you hand the mic to her, when you hand it to her, I have to turn the audio up like twice of what it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Well, we are, like I like to say, we're trained amateurs.
Nobody has ever said I'm quiet.
Yeah, it's I've been in this community for my whole life. I grew up here. My dad grew up here. My grandma grew up here. So I just can trace my ancestry in this county for a long time. And it's good to see something pop up that's, I've watched Oktoberfest disappear. I've watched all these other things that was really good for the community just kind of disappear.
Right.
The soapbox derby and Conneaut disappeared. And it's just kind of sad, but it's cool as something's popping up. And I don't think I want to wait another 50 years for another one.
Right.
Do you have any plans after this?
Tina Fuller does not. Look, I've heard that from other people. I think that, I've said this before. This is completely off topic, but I've said this before. It seemed to me that right after COVID, people really had this desire to come together in community with other people. And so some of these festivals and community events seem to really draw people out. So to answer your question directly, I don't think you'll see them go away. And I think, I can only speak to Jefferson. I think that Jefferson is still putting together some pretty neat things. And there are other things like what we're doing that will continue to happen. So, for example, in Conneaut, they do Red, White, and Boom. That will continue to happen. They're doing it. They are having Red, White, and Boom. Geneva, I believe, is still doing their 4th of July celebration. Roaming Shores does something. We are not taking away, and I wouldn't want to take away from anything anybody else is doing on the 4th of July. We are only putting out something else for the county to do. And if I haven't said this, I do want to make sure that I say this. This is an Ashtabula County celebration that we're planning. Absolutely not a Jefferson celebration. Jefferson has been gracious and said, yes, you can hold it in Jefferson and we'll support you in any way that we can. And they've been wonderful. But it is definitely an Ashtabula County celebration. And it should be. We have this one thing that I didn't mention, and maybe we can bring it up on the slide, is this Walk of Time. And that really was the thing. So to speak to what you were just saying, that was really what we started with, was this Walk of Time. When Emily, who's my daughter, has really been helping me with this. She said, I envision, Mom, the World's Fair. And the World's Fair was really a circle, right? And so that's what the Walk of Time is in my mind. It is a walk through time, and it should be a representation of Ashtabula County's development over that time. Ashtabula County, if you think about what we are in our country's history, it's amazing. We have a little bit of everything. We have agricultural development that is just phenomenal. We have manufacturing. We have, this recreation with the lake out here. Look at what's happened down in the harbor. Look what happens with Geneva on the lake. That we have people visiting Geneva on the lake from, everywhere, and they've come for decades and decades, and the same with Conneaut. That D-Day celebration that they have down there, I mean, just amazing. So, this Walk of Time, we have people that are going to be on the Walk of Time from the Conneaut Historical Society, Jefferson, Ashtabula Historical Society. The Giddings Law Office will be open. Think about the history that's developed in Ashtabula County. We have the Hubbard House. What an amazing, absolutely amazing treasure that we have. We have the Jefferson Depot that talks about the railroad history and what it's done for our county. We have the Giddings Law Office. Joshua Giddings. Come on. That's amazing. We'll have reenactors on the Walk of Time talking about things that are relevant to Ashtabula County. So we'll be able to see our development across time in there.
And that's
So-
cool that you're having it right in front of the covered bridge, you said? Because that's
Absolutely.
another staple for Ashtabula County.
It
'cause,
is.
there's so many. I think we have the record for the amount of covered bridges.
We absolutely
We have the
do.
largest and the smallest as well.
Yeah, we do. We do. And we should celebrate that. You know,
Yes.
we are an absolute wonderful county and a gem of a place to live. You know, you just have what I do in the real world is an honor because I get to talk to people that come into our county from across the different parts of this country. I get visitors in my place of business from Pittsburgh, from New York, from the other side of Cleveland, I can't even begin to tell you. And they love our county because it is what you just explained. It is a very, well, Jefferson in particular feels like a very Hallmark or Mayberry type of town. And it doesn't, the beauty of it is it doesn't change, but it does change.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're mentioning just a few things there. You mentioned D-Day. There's another example. There used to be an amateur radio club in Conneaut, and they kind of absorbed into the D-Day thing all the communications that happened throughout the D-Day, from the guys that worked the gates to the coordination with the airplanes and the actors and it's all done by amateur radio operators. That's actually in one of the things we train for is really there is a section in amateur radio for they don't use this much anymore, but back when amateur radio first started, part of that history was we were there for helping the military with communications, especially during civilian disasters. So they would send if they needed to send the Rangers in to rescue guys off of mountaintops, or if their communications went down, and there's actually written into code both for us and them that there's certain radio frequencies they can't use unless there's an amateur radio operator standing right there. And so they could call on us. That's not necessarily that we have to go, but they could call on us and ask us to help them with their, not communications have changed so much. But it's still all based on radio, but cell phones we have in our hands are still radio. So,
Well, and that's the, speaking of D-Day, I would like to ask if anybody for the parade, I am looking for transport, because I've been very blessed to go out and speak to veteran organizations, American Legions and the Eagles, and like I went out the other night and spoke to the Knights of Columbus. These are an older generation of folks that want to be a part of our celebration, and we want to honor them. But a lot of them, the parade route is about a mile. They're concerned that they can't, they won't be able to walk that whole mile. So I'm looking for folks that would be able to transport them. You know, so if your folks out there that are watching know of transports, let me know. Reach out to me on our Facebook page or in our Gmail. Our Gmail is ashtabulacounty250@gmail.com. And, say, hey, Tina, look, I can get your transport. I was talking to these guys the other night. We have one guy that's going to bring a huge military, what is it, a tank, or I can't even remember. It's on a flatbed and it's tank. And then he'll have a couple of military transports behind that. So that'll help some of it. But I want to honor not only the county, but our veterans. So yeah, anybody that knows any transports, let me know.
sounds like we need a bunch of golf carts dressed up like Willie's Jeeps.
Well, and we have Sunset Transportation is going to be providing our transportation. Jefferson is we talked about this the other night. The parking is going to be an issue in Jefferson. Sunset Transportation is providing all our parking. Not all our parking, our shuttle service for our parking. So you'll be main parking will be down at the fairgrounds, and then they'll transport everybody up to the festival grounds. So they are absolutely a wonderful organization. Shout out to Sunset Transportation.
I can see Rykus has something going on in his head there.
No,
Nope.
I'm just listening.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking all this in. It's a lot of information. I'm trying to.
Don't put a microphone in front of Tina. Sorry. Like,
Too late. We already did it.
I'm the quiet one.
So I know the Aries guys are trying to get tighter with the EMA folks down there. How are you going to be able to? You're part of the EMA, so I'm assuming we're
I'm part
pulling
of the
together.
drill. Like I work for EMA is actually underneath the Board of Commissioners offices, and I'm part of the drill every year. And there's actually 2 drills this year. Every so many years there has to be 2. So I can get you in touch with our director, Mike Fitchett there. Or
Okay.
I mean,
I know that
contact
name. I've heard that
information.
name several times.
And Tim Settles is another one. And Mike is the director, so we can absolutely make sure that you are aware of when
we'll-
these drills are.
Hopefully the Aries guys will get that together.
Mm-hmm.
I know on paper I'm like the number 2 guy in Aries, but I
Say on paper.
well that's because when we realized that those seats were vacant, so in order to take over that and reestablish it in the county, somebody's name had to go on it.
You had to have leadership
So, right.
established. Mhm.
Yeah. So actually
yeah,
Matt
yeah.
W8DEC I believe is still listed as the lead contact for the Aries group here. And I'm actually I think listed as the number 2.
Okay.
But I think they might have switched that around. I could be wrong. I might be speaking out of school. They might have switched it and not told me.
Okay.
But I say every week, please help out the Aries guys. Check into the net if you're an amateur radio operator, and they do have guys that check in from as far away as Lake County, Cuyahoga County, and
We got something in the chat here.
okay, we got a question. In the
No,
chat.
not a question. A comment. SHABANU Fry. I think that's a call sign. KU9IH. I would be honored to drive those veterans. I'll talk with Ryan about it and get your information, Tina. So there you go.
KU9AH. We got somebody.
Oh, that's
All right,
great.
we'll make sure we get the. I know we got the Ashtabula250.com or .org in .org in the description. That's in the description for right now, and also the link for the Facebook page is in there. And then you want the Gmail in there? Can you?
I believe I can add that after we're done here.
Okay. So we
Is
should be able
that
to-
somewhere you can find that on the webpage? Probably.
I can give it to you right here. I have. a
Oh,
copy
well, I
of it.
just mean like if you wanted to go check the description
Oh.
right now, would you be able to find that Gmail on the webpage?
Yes, you could
Yes.
find it on the webpage.
Okay.
You can find it on the
Yes.
Facebook page.
All right. Well, I'll
Yes.
put it in the description after we're done here anyway. Cool.
Yeah. And I try to post, this is my little shameless plug. I try and post things on Facebook. So please like and share Facebook to everybody.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Yeah, tell everybody about this because I'm not even sure how many people know. I mean, I've seen a few flyers here and there, but this seems like the kind of thing that should be a flyer in every restaurant and in town. I mean, it should be in Case Place. It should be in Becker's. It should even be in the Pizza Hut in Conneaut.
I've lived in this county my entire life, and when you guys joined our radio meeting, that was the first I'd heard about it. So
And that's a shame. I mean, because it is look, I don't mean to be dramatic about it, but it is a once in a generation type of celebration.
absolutely, yeah.
And it should, hopefully we will be able to successfully between now and the 3rd of July get the word out.
Well, we're gonna do our part.
And I think actually we're the first local media talking about this. Is that right?
I was asked to talk to Jim at, is it?
Sunrise.
Yes,
Sunrise,
yeah.
Coco.
So we did talk to him live, and then you guys. So I thank you so much. And I know I'll never be asked again because I can't stop talking.
No, that's fine. That puts us at number 2. We're good at number 2. We'll take number 2.
As far as I know, Sunrise, he doesn't air you have to watch it live or you're done. With this show, you can send it out, post it, and share it, and people can watch it.
Yeah, it'll be good for you.
Depends on how I look afterwards.
Oh no, we're sharing it anyway. It's going out to everybody. If everybody like and share the show, we're gonna plug that part of it anyway. So don't worry about it. And we've got a good solid watch base. I mean, I believe with like YouTube doesn't count ad blocker counts. Like if you've got an ad blocker and you watch it, the YouTube doesn't count that as a view. Certain cookie blockers will make it so that they don't count.
Web privacy stuff, it prevents us from seeing any viewers. So add maybe 50 to 100 extra views on top of what we already see. So
Awesome. I've never done YouTube. I've done Facebook, but never YouTube.
This is my first. I'm not very comfortable on camera, but
Yeah.
I'm doing this show. I'm getting myself out there. I'm getting out of my shell.
He's getting better. He's getting better.
I'm getting better.
I had to jump on him because I started doing weekly radio net on Wednesdays, and I started that pretty much my third year in the amateur radioing, maybe my second year in the amateur radioing, and I thought long and hard about what I wanted to do with it, because to me that's a part of the hobby, and I actually would like to lobby, see our lobbying organization allow more of we got this whole thing with copyright laws and blah 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 whatever. So it's not broadcast so it's not like a traditional radio show. It's interactive. It has to be. And that's fine. I love it like that because that's what makes it great. But there's things we're not allowed to do, and I'm not talking just on the commercial end of it. Like here, if we wanted to run an ad, we could. We couldn't do that on my radio net. So
with ham radio, it's more of what can I do regarding like broadcast and like not commercial stuff, but like that kind of stuff. Like one of the only things that I've seen amateur radio operators able to do in the past like month was rebroadcasting some of the Artemis moon capsule stuff. We were allowed to do that.
You might get in trouble for some of that too, because I just saw a thing where somebody got in trouble for they were working with the EMA. It's public. The dispatch radio is it's public, so pretty much anybody can pick up a radio that's capable of receiving those frequencies and listen. Now, a lot of times you guys use a encoded mark system or whatever. That's fine. Although I personally have problems with that because it's supposed to be public. But somebody what
For the recordings.
the FIOs, yeah.
Most stuff around here isn't encrypted, only
Yeah,
occasionally.
It depends on where you're at. But somebody did get in trouble because they were retransmitting over amateur radio frequencies, the emergency services radio frequencies, and that they got in trouble for that not too long ago. So there's some restrictions to what we can and can't do. Like we're actually not allowed on those frequencies, just like we're not allowed on the school bus frequencies, even though they're close by. So there's a caveat to everything. Of course, if somebody's laying on the ground in front of you and you need to get them medical services right away, and the situation is dire, of course, you still might have some explaining to do when it's all over with, but
Pick up a radio and save a life. The FCC does not care about that.
yeah. Common sense. Common sense is supposed to prevail. So it doesn't always, but it's supposed to. So, yeah, there's a lot of that in there. But actually, we're pushing classes. Where are we at time-wise?
Minus the first 7 minutes or 10 minutes because we were in the lobby. About 50 minutes. We talked a little bit more.
A little more. So I just got one more question for both of you guys while we're here.
It looks like it's going to be painful the way.
No.
Be ready.
This is great. So of course we're Hobby Talk, and we want to. I wouldn't mind talking to that photographer who was in there too. So contact us because she's got some great pictures. We'd love to have a photographer.
We haven't
on
had
the show.
we haven't had a
And
photographer yet.
but what's your hobby?
Well, I collect old stuff. So that's my hobby.
Me too.
Is that don't talk about your husband that way.
I know, right? Yeah. Sorry, honey.
I'm telling
People call it hoarding. I call it collecting, treasures.
So you have a shop where you do your collecting.
Yeah, I do. We, Emily and I own an antique and vintage store. Well, with vendors. So yeah.
Well, go ahead and tell people where it's at.
Okay, yeah. So we have the Refinery Vintage Market in Jefferson, and we're located at 39 South Chestnut Street in the heart of Jefferson. And we've got about 25 vendors in there, and they all do something different. And I do have somebody who does some comic books on Hot Wheels and baseball cards, and he's been doing that a very long time, since he was a young kid, younger than our gentleman over here. It's what I love about it right now with him in the store in particular is that there are young boys coming in, and they make a beeline for his room, and they are so excited to see what card they're going to find. And they don't even care. He's put together, I call them cake boxes. They're these white big boxes full of cards. And I just imagine them going home and going like that through the cards. They're thrilled. So, so that's what Em and I do. We own a vintage and an antique store, and we love it because we get to meet very interesting people and hear the best stories every day.
When I was younger, I used to work for an antique dealer. Yeah. I would help him move all his stuff to the Papa Bello show. And we used to do that. And he taught me a lot of tricks on restoring brass and old hardwood furniture. And it was definitely worth my time learning underneath him.
Yeah.
So So Lisa, what's your hobby?
I do puzzles.
Puzzles.
Do
you frame them?
I do sometimes, yes.
That's awesome.
I'm working on a 1,000-piece right now.
1,000-piece puzzle. Man, I wouldn't have the patience.
I've done 2,500-piece puzzles.
Oh.
I like puzzles.
I live in a part of Ashtabula that's heavily Amish, and that's a standard Christmas gift that I give to the families that are friends of mine. Every year, I try and find them a unique puzzle.
Like I do them with my grandchildren, not the harder ones, but because they're still little. But it's
3D
fun.
castle puzzles. I used to do those.
I've tried. I'm not good at the the 3Ds. I've tried. It's a challenge for me. I kind of like the flat. I've done them since I was a little kid. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember making a puzzle with my grandma. It was awesome. I was like a little kid, and she had this double-sided puzzle. It was very difficult because it was buffaloes doing different sports, and it was repetitive, and it was the same thing on the other side. So you'd have like a buffalo with playing soccer like 5 times, same picture, and 5 times on the back. It was really difficult. It was fun.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for being here. We're gonna probably wrap it up here. Let's do a couple closing things. So, one more time, you guys are at Ashtabula200.org.
250.
Ashtabula 250. Sorry.
Okay.
Trained amateurs. That's like I always say. And so check them out. Links are in the description of the video.
Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you guys want to talk about?
The festival is Saturday, July 4th, and it starts at noon with the parade, and then the opening ceremonies at 1:30 with all day things going on all day, and then the fireworks at 10:30. And there's still time to be in the parade.
And we're always looking for volunteers that want to help set up, tear down in the Family Americana arcade area, manning the booths for the children's toy. We're having a toy maker. I think that one's covered. We have the bounce house. We also have sponsorship opportunities too that are on the website, different levels. We've got merchandise. We have our T-shirts, pins,
You have a place
that kind
where
of
people
thing.
can buy this stuff?
Yes, it's on the
Yeah,
website.
it's on the website.
All of that
I
is
was
on the
checking
website.
website out earlier. It's
Mhm.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Got a lot of sponsors in there.
That's actually done by Edgewood's one of Edgewood's computer classes.
Yes.
Edgewood High School's computer class did our website. They're
They
working on
volunteered.
that.
They did a great
They are doing
job.
a great job.
Not a web designer over here. No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. But
I-
can appreciate
I
it.
try to be, but it's tough. Actually, it's a lot easier now than it was when I was first learning how to do it, because hand coding HTML and CSS, that I would bang my head against the desk. It's a little easier than that now.
I used to love programming, but that was back in 1985.
Yeah, basic on an Apple IIe. Look it up, kids.
There you go.
All right.
I do want to thank the Board of Commissioners too, because they were one of the first sponsors. They were the one who gave us the initial startup money. So and JP Ducro, he comes to all of the committee meetings. He's our point person. Each commissioner has a point project. This was his. Yeah. So I do want to say thank you to them too. And they've allowed me to be a part of this in different ways too. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right. So go check them out. And while you're checking them out, you can check us out too at ashtabulahobbytalk.com and on YouTube and Facebook. We've got those. Go see Rykus at Captain's Comics up there at the corner of 20 and 193. He's got lots of
flyer
cool
in my
stuff.
shop before the event too. So
Yeah, absolutely. Please like and subscribe the show. We are very close to our 100th subscriber, and when we
gaining
hit there,
momentum.
we're gaining momentum. Somebody's going to win this beautiful coffee mug from my Wednesday night show that I'm not going to have any more of these printed anymore. So these are limited edition, and yeah, probably will. You hold that for a second for me, and then we've got this. Oh, actually, would you hold that up? There. Thank you. Appreciate that. We've got this beautiful Captain's Comics t-shirt that somebody's going to win. Any size, any color. You'll be able to, other camera, that camera over there. Look at that. And it's all these episodes, and it's just now starting to wrinkle. Look at that. And the lettering is still good to go. All right. So
That's going, once we get our 100th subscriber, we'll pull from
pull from the list. Yep, absolutely. See? Say that again.
That's a nice shirt.
See, I keep telling people that's a nice shirt. And you know what? Here's what happens. Every week I take this shirt just like this and hold this. I crunch it up like this, stuff it in the cup, and it's every week.
I'm so disappointed.
Every week I do that to the shirt, and every week I pull it out, and it's perfect.
Now you can just put a ribbon on it and give it to somebody.
All right.
So like and subscribe, comment, ring the bell, whatever that thing is. You
Yeah,
ring
make
bells?
sure. I don't even think the bell works on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, well, do it anyway. Just
Yeah,
for
do it
fun.
anyway. Comment again, then tell us what you really think.
Ring the bell 13 times. How about that?
All right. Thank you guys, and hobby on.
Hobby on.